In this video, we're going to fire up the LG Nexus 5 for the very first time. So let's get to it. So if you missed my unboxing video of this device, click on the link at the end of this video and you'll see a whole series of videos dedicated to the Nexus 5. But in this video, we're going to fire it up for the very first time. Now, Android has about 80% of the market share of worldwide cell phone use. 80%. So I'm guessing you probably know how Android works. So I'm going to make this process very quick, at least signing through everything. I'm not going to read everything unless I see something that's a little bit different. What I want to focus on is turning on the device for the first time and giving you my first impressions of Android 4.4 KitKat. So we have the power button on the right-hand side of the phone. I'm just going to hold that down until we get the Google splash screen here. There we go. A little vibration, a little haptic feedback. Google splash screen, and we're going to have what I think is a new Nexus intro. So this is a different intro than what you might be used to on Nexus devices. And I won't edit any of this out. I want you to see what it's like. I want you to experience it as I'm experiencing it. But I will try to go through the text as fast as possible. Okay. Had a little flash there and a little haptic feedback. So this is very familiar if you have an Android phone. So I'm speaking English. Let's go through that. Okay, insert your SIM card. I'm going to skip this for right now only because there's a certain setup process that I have to do with Straight Talk Wireless, and I want to get the phone started first and then I'll worry about setting it up later. I'm going to hit skip here, select Wi-Fi. Okay, I edited that out. I entered in my password for my home wireless network. The next thing up here is System Update. The phone needs to download and install a software update from Google. So let me do that. And I'll probably edit this for time because this won't be interesting. This could take up to 5 minutes. Okay, so the update was successful and we have to do this all over again. English wants me to insert the SIM card. We'll do that later. Okay, so I had to enter in my home wireless network information again. Now, one thing to note, the keyboard, and we'll go over that in a little more in depth when I get this thing up and running, but the keyboard, when you actually type on it, there's some haptic feedback. Which is different from the Nexus 4. Got Google. Do you have a Google account? So let me sign into my Google account and I'll join you on the other side of that. Okay, Google Services, if you want to back up and restore, I have that checked there. So basically I'm restoring my previous Google account backups to this phone, which includes my apps, app settings, system settings, and Wi-Fi passwords. And then it wants my location information. I'm not going to allow all the apps to know my location. I'll just do that on a case-by-case basis. Down here it says for improved accuracy and other purposes, scan for Wi-Fi networks even when Wi-Fi is off. That's fine. I'll keep that checked. And there's more down here. Keep me up to date with news and offers from Google Play. That's fine, I guess. Hit next. And it's going to restore everything from my Google account on this phone. Now, one thing you might notice if you have sharp vision, up on top, the icons are white now. They used to be blue. Got my Nexus 4 here. As you can see, they're blue up there as opposed to the new white ones. Okay, the next step there was, it was telling me that it had my name up there on the screen, and it said that some apps use my name to personalize the experience. So I don't know how I feel about that. I try and keep things, I like my privacy, I try and keep things private, but we'll see how that works out for me. Google Now, information when you need it without searching. So Google Now, you should be familiar with that. It's when you swipe up from the bottom of a Nexus 4, you'll be able to get these different cards that tie into information you might be interested in, depending on where you're located or what might be in your Gmail account. So for instance, if you buy something or for me, I buy things on Amazon a lot, and I use the same Gmail address that I use for my main account on my phones. And Google Now actually is able to give me tracking information on things I buy without me even entering anything in there. So I think it's cool. Some people might think it's intrusive. I think it's very cool and useful. This is just explaining Google Now, and I know with Android 4.4, Google Now is off to the left. So we'll see how that works. Let's go to the next thing here. Get Google Now. Google Now is always working for you to help you through your day. So yes, I do want to get Google Now. It's basically going to store my location and use my calendars, Gmail, and Google data for reminders and whatnot. So I find it useful, but if you don't, you can opt out of that. So here we go. Google Now is off to the left. You have say OK Google to start search. So I said OK Google, and it's listening. Anyway, let's get out of that. Welcome, make yourself at home, and then create more screens for apps and folders. So another thing that's new on Android 4.4 is that basically you have one home screen, but you can create as many as you want. And that's off to the right, and then off to the left is Google Now. Used to be Google Now was from the bottom. If you swipe up from the bottom, oh wow. You can still go to Google Now by swiping up from the bottom as well. So, okay, hit OK. Let's see what else is new. Organize your space, touch and hold background to manage wallpaper, widgets and settings. That's very similar to what you're used to. Hangouts does SMS. That's something that's new as well. Hangouts is now your default setting SMS app. So there we go, the very colorful looking Nexus 5. And again, it intimates a 5 here. You can change that background, and I most definitely probably will. So let me just show you the Nexus 5 next to the Nexus 4. Now the Nexus 4, this is my custom background here, so that's not one of the default backgrounds that you get with the device, but I just wanted to show you side by side the two devices. So obviously the screen is a little bit bigger on the Nexus 5 than the Nexus 4, but it also appears a lot bigger because now your navigation on the bottom, you have the transparency of that navigation, so you can actually see the wallpaper behind it, and then the same is true for the bar on the top. And it's downloading information there. But other than that, it looks fairly similar. You have some new icons. The app drawer is different. The Chrome icon, actually all the icons look a little bit bigger. You have a new phone icon. And again, the SMS app is now Hangouts, which should be interesting because I don't know if Hangouts supports MMS. So I do use MMS from time to time, so that's going to be interesting. So let's browse around this phone a little bit. So you have a home screen to the right, and that's it. And we have Google Now over to the left here. And this is very snappy. This phone is very responsive. Wow. As you can see, some cards here. This card was a neoprene case that I ordered from Amazon for another device, which you will be seeing on this channel very shortly. Hopefully in the next couple of days. But let's take a look at the app drawer here. And as you notice on the app drawer, you can see the wallpaper behind it as well. And very, very, very responsive. So let's go into Chrome here real quick. And it's pretty much the Chrome you're used to if you have a cell phone. Let me just show you the keyboard here. Looks very familiar. Let me type something out here. You get that haptic feedback, and I don't know if you can hear it because it is somewhat audible. But a little bit different than the kind of clickety-clack that you got on the, or at least I got on the Nexus 4. I'm sure I could probably enable the sounds on this as well if I wanted to. But let me just look up Tech Harvest. Now this is running off of my Wi-Fi. This is an LTE phone though, so hopefully I'll be able to activate that with with Straight Talk Wireless. But that's my YouTube stuff on here. Let me just click on that. Got different browsers on here. Let me go in Chrome. I'm not a big fan of apps, even though it gives me the mobile website here. Not a big fan of mobile websites either. But here we go. Everything seems very snappy on this phone. Of course it should, because it is the latest and greatest. It's actually a quad-core processor on this device, so very impressive. It's clocked at 2.26 gigahertz per core, so very responsive device. Very high-end, very responsive. So I'm in Hangouts here, and one of the new things on the new Android keyboard here, which I think you can actually get on an older phone right now, I think I saw it on my Nexus 4, is you have these emojis here. So you have all these different little faces you could use and different icons and whatnot in your messages. Here's the dialer. It looks a little bit different, a little bit more condensed here. You have your favorites up top here, which I actually have blocked out. Now again, if you want more home screens, you can create another home screen. Let's put the Arcus Weather app in, and I could put it in one of the two existing ones, or create a third one and just place it there. So now I have 4 home screens, including Google Now. And let's see if I can get rid of that home screen. Yeah, now I have 3 home screens, so it's very automatic. So if you have a blank home screen, you don't have that home screen anymore. Very cool. So just to show you, Android version 4.4, and if you want to see the Android animation, just keep clicking on that, and there we go. Kit Kat. Spin that around a little bit. There we go, Android 4.4. I actually haven't had a Kit Kat in years. Had I had more time today, I would have done a Kit Kat bar, chocolate bar unboxing, but only so much time in the day. So that's the Google Nexus 5, and I'm really impressed with it so far. The speed is... I never found that the speed on my Nexus 4 was lagging or anything like that, but there's a definite difference between the Nexus 4 speed and the Nexus 5. I mean, it's just incredibly responsive. Very nice. I'm very happy with it so far. The only thing I wish is that I could have bought that overpriced case, because, like I said, I'm very careful with my devices, and I'm going to have to be extra careful with this one since it is basically naked. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.